What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. It's Christmas Day. It's Monday, so Merry Christmas to everybody. But we've been waiting a long time for the Ravens to play some football. And we finally get the matchup that we circled on the calendars when the schedule came out, right? San Francisco 49ers. The hope is, these are two contending teams, potential Super Bowl preview. I texted Matt, who I'll introduce in a second. I texted him like 5 weeks ago, and I was like, dude, I think there's a chance that Ravens-Niners is 2-1 seeds, which would be perfect because that's the two top teams in the NFL. That's what we got. But Merry Christmas, Joshua. Merry Christmas, Matt. Matt, do you want to introduce yourself for everybody that doesn't know who you are?
Yeah, so I'm coming here today with the Niners point of view. McCon and I do another channel. We do play action football, so it's like short form, like overall NFL stuff. But yeah, I do that and talking Niners ball. Obviously, a big Niners fan. I'm excited for today's game. McCon and I have kind of been hyped up for this one just because and also now I feel like both this game doesn't really mean all that much. Like the Niners just have to win the next two games and they'll still get the 1 seed. The Ravens just need to beat the Dolphins and they'll still get the 1 seed. But it's an amazing litmus test. So I think it's pretty sweet to see. We've talked about as the potential Super Bowl matchup. Niners and the Ravens are the best teams. I feel like that's pretty clear now. The Cowboys are way too inconsistent. The Dolphins have been too inconsistent, but next week's matchup will show a lot with you guys. And then the Eagles have kind of fallen off the face of the earth. And the only teams that have really looked that good consistently outside of like stretches early on in the season, like with the last like month or two, are the Ravens and the Niners. So we got a pretty sick matchup today. I'm pumped. I'm really excited to see how the Niners do against the Ravens defense because the Ravens defense is, atop the best in the league. And the Niners the Niners offense has basically rolled every single team they've went up against when they've been healthy. But this is the biggest test. So I'm pumped, man. I'm super excited for tonight.
Yeah, man, listen, Merry Christmas, everybody. I know, everybody's been watching a lot of basketball games, these past Christmas years. I don't know if you all seen the parody with LeBron James and AD trying to kidnap, Lamar and company, on Christmas Day, but that's funny as how I saw that one. So, it is definitely different to see football played on Christmas Day. I'm loving what we're going to do. I love the fact that, this can be a possible Super Bowl implement type of game, man. So, I'm looking forward to see how the Ravens defense handles, Debo and Christian McCaffrey. We all know Christian McCaffrey is and arguably one of the best playmakers, and Debo Samuel is arguably one of the best playmakers in the NFL. I do want to see how both middle linebacker tandems, from San Fran and also from Baltimore. How do we make those play calls? How we get up the field and make those tackles that we need to make, and make ourselves known in today's game, because like you said, like everybody's saying, man, this could be a possible Super Bowl, prelude. I know Mike Florio has his thoughts of the Ravens, possibly being shitted on. But hey, man, listen, I know the Ravens got a chip on their shoulder. I know the Ravens want to get out there and show the world who they are, who they can be, and what's to come for the next couple of weeks.
I know. I realized it before anybody said anything. But one of the cool things that I'm looking forward to watching in this game is, like Joshua mentioned, the linebackers. And apparently there's a huge debate going on between the linebackers duos of who's the best in the league. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Niners linebackers suck. I'm kidding. I've never said that in my life. The Niners, I think, have the best linebacker duo, but I think the Ravens are second. But they're like completely different styles, but also very similar. Like the Ravens are still pretty rudimentary in their offense, but they both want to run the football and then get the ball to the playmakers. And they just, I want to see how the Ravens match up against the Niners playmakers, because the Ravens have stars on defense. Like, I don't think Matt said this is probably the best defense to face against the Niners, because I don't think another defense has as many playmakers as the Ravens do, has many star players, right? The Ravens have the star pass rusher. They have the star linebacker. They've got the star corner. They've got the star safety. And if you want to consider Marcus Williams, maybe a neutron star or something like that, a smaller star, like pretty good. He hasn't been as good, but he's been injured this year, so he's been looking better and better coming back. Who matches up against who? Is Hamilton on Kittle? Is Hamilton in the slot covering, Debo on some plays? Is Hamilton covering McCaffrey? Is Patrick Queen on McCaffrey? Please, God, no, don't have that happen. Patrick Queen got mossed by Zach Moss. We don't need McCaffrey out on him. Playing against him in fantasy, it's not going to be good if McCaffrey's in one-on-one coverage. But, the Ravens' run defense looked bad against the Rams on one drive. Then the Rams gave up on it. I don't know why that happened. Kyle Shanahan isn't that stupid. He lost a Super Bowl because he wouldn't stop running the football. So I don't think he's ever going to give that one up.
I'm interested. So you're talking about Roquan, obviously, and Patrick Queen against the Niners linebackers. Now the Niners used to have Azeez Al-Shaair. He's gone now, so their linebacking core is not as deep. But if you're talking the first two, look, I feel like it's got to be the Niners, right? Like, I've seen this debate too, but I was always like, I mean, I don't think we're recognizing how good Fred is. Like, Fred is easily the best linebacker in the game. And I know Roquan's great, but like, you guys got to watch Fred, dude. You got to watch his coverage ability. Like, he will drop down, fake a blitz, pop out 40 yards downfield, and be on like a Hollywood Brown type player, like someone fast, like someone that can move. And you're like, dude, how did this guy just cover 40 yards in 5 seconds after faking a blitz and coming out? Now, it's interesting because for their matchups, I think Roquan is the worst linebacker the Niners can match up against out of anyone. Like, because what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to get that inside run game going. Roquan's probably the best in the league at that. So that's why I'm pumped too. I mean, you're talking about Kyle Hamilton. Well, you got Kyle Hamilton and Roquan Smith and Marlon Humphrey. These are big dudes. These are dudes that actually match up. Like, Marlon can match up against Debo, for instance. Like, you can put him outside and have him on Debo. Like, that's a pretty good neutralizer there. Roquan, like, you're gonna have Roquan inside in the inside run game against McCaffrey. Like, it's gonna be so exciting. I think from the Niners' perspective, they've got better about it, but like over the past 5-6 years that their defense has been legit, like, they've struggled a little bit against running quarterbacks. They've got better, but Kyler used to kill them, dude. And if you remember last time the Niners played the Ravens, like, it was a super close game. It was a defensive-oriented game. And it came down to the Ravens just ran out the clock in that last drive, and they got the Tucker field goal. It was just like that was a good football game. It was an even football game. The Ravens got the ball at the end, and the Niners couldn't stop the run game. I still think that can be an issue. So, also, I like this comment right here. Not sure why the Niners are favored so heavy. Strong AFC defense have taken down NFC teams. I think it's me and McConnell were talking about this because we thought it was in Baltimore at first, and it was a 6-point line, right?
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, it's in Baltimore? That's nuts. But it is at home, so the Niners are at home. You give them a couple points, it ends up going up because they're at home. But I was thinking it would be like 2 or 3. That's what you guys thought too, right? Because I feel like it's even. I feel like it's very even.
I think it's even, and then you give the advantage to the home field.
I think the only separator, honestly, I know we talk about the linebackers, but we have to be real. McConnell, we are very realists, when it comes to our Baltimore team. And the real X factor, I don't think you have talked about this yet, Matt. Maybe you're getting to it. Is your guys' pass rushers, man? Young and Bosa. If they can give Ronnie Stanley and Morgan Moses hell all night, it's going to be a long night. We seen how it is, when we play against Cleveland Browns. Not saying that we can't come out and get a W though. Don't get it twisted now. Don't get it twisted. I'm giving Young is a DMV guy. I'm gonna show him love. I'm glad that he was able to get the hell out of DC and get himself a resurgence in his career for sure. Bosa, we all know what the Bosa brothers do. So it's going to really come down to Morgan Moses and Ronnie Stanley to see how grown of men they can be. When it comes to that mano-a-mano matchup fight, on those outsides, whether they can get away with some false starts and be able to get their kick back early, or maybe maul them down, because you're gonna have to do something about those edge rushes. So I know we love to talk about our linebackers, but I think those are the real key matchups. If you can create enough pressure, yes. And yes, Lamar Jackson is goddamn Houdini. He made, I forgot who the defensive tackle was the other week that said goddamn what the F happened. But we all know that sometimes, when our quarterback DTMs, it doesn't help us out. So I think that's the real key matchup of this game. But I mean, if Ronnie Stanley and Morgan Moses come out, like prime time Ronnie Stanley or prime time Morgan Moses, man, and give Lamar time like he had time against Detroit, Seattle. It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long night. I'm not gonna say 49ers not gonna put up points enough like that, but I think those the real key matchups.
I think the most important player for the Ravens, Matt, I don't know if you know about these nicknames. It's BS, Ball Skills, Brandon Stevens. All right. Now, I used to tell Matt about Brandon Stevens, and I used to tell him this guy, if he had hands, he's a great corner.
Yeah.
But he'd get mossed every time. He was the Anthony Averett, but 6'2" version. And it was like, dude, what is going on? But this year, the hands have arrived. And all of a sudden, he's making plays on the ball.
He's putting it together.
How does he match up outside? Because he's physical, he gets in your face, and he's athletic and fast. He can match up against Debo or Ayuk. I wonder who they put him on and if they switch him and Marlon Humphrey up, because even though they're both physical corners, they're both very different. People throw at Brandon Stevens a lot more than they do at Marlon. Marlon does not get targeted. People have saying like, oh, Marlon fell off this year. Marlon allows like a 41% completion rate and 30 yards a game. Like that's his season statistics. And I don't think he's allowed a touchdown. And people blamed one play of Cooper Kupp getting a big reception because Marlon slipped in the rain, trying to come back on the right. And I was like, oh man, what's happening? It's like, okay. Marlon's still very good, but is he going to be as physical, or is he going to try and play off? And then, we're going to see a lot of Geno Stone tonight. Purdy doesn't make a ton of mistakes, but one of the things that the Ravens do very well is force quarterbacks and force teams into third and long where they're forced to try and make a play. If they could try and make Purdy to, try and, test the one-on-one coverage downfield or something like that. Because what makes the Niners great is like every time, I don't know if I've ever seen Purdy throw a deep ball where you look at the receiver when they catch it and you're like, oh, that guy didn't have 11 yards of separation right there.
I don't know, dude. Last few weeks, he's made a few of those. He had the one to Debo. Debo had like 5 yards, but
Debo had like 5 yards. Like Purdy's a good deep ball thrower. He got two what kills you is the routes.
Yeah, he got 2 to Ayuk and Kittle lately, where like it was I think it was like a third and long, and he just launched one up. Sorry, I'm watching a Hail Mary right here from Tyrod Taylor. Come on. Oh, we got picked off. Yeah, I'm watching but I was thinking back on it, and like, I don't know, like he's got one to Ayuk, and then he had one to Kittle where he just hit Kittle like off this ball where it was like, I think it was third down, and it was maybe like a 40-yard throw. Defender just draped all over him, just right over, like drop in the bucket, and then Kittle caught it, broke tackle, and scored. Something interesting. Guess who's starting at corner tonight for the Niners? This is a surprise. Jason Verrett. Swear to God. He just got signed to the active
Somebody get the
roster.
ambulance. He's tearing his ACL or his Achilles.
I think he's starting over Ambry Thomas, and then Demo is moving inside. So like pretty crazy. But yeah, Jason Verrett at corner. It's been a little bit, but he was awesome for the Niners in 2020, I think. 2020 or 2021 when he played there, and he was great. He
was 21.
He's torn his ACL like 6 times though. Like it's something absurd. It's
every year.
But he's good.
Come back, he plays great, and then it's like, oh no, there it goes. He's like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose on the Bulls.
So my thing is, you guys are talking about a lot of these matchups like outside and stuff. I think it's gonna depend because I saw this one. Purdy's been sacked at least 2 times for the last 5 games. Dude, the Niners, like, I don't think people realize this. The Niners' offensive line is not good. Their offensive line is awful. Like they have one of the worst offensive lines. They have Trent Williams. So when Trent Williams is on the field, it looks a lot better. But 4 of the other 5 guys, and to be fair, Aaron Banks is their left guard, is a pretty solid player, but he's been hurt a little bit, so it's kind of been up and down with him. Those spots were, at least a couple weeks ago, were all ranked bottom 5 starters via PFF. Like, that's bad. And something that's interesting is Purdy's so good against the blitz, right? So good against pressure, so good against the blitz. Yeah. Well, a lot of that is because they actually are sending 5 or 6 guys. The Ravens are able to generate pressure consistently with 4. That's when I think it gets a little interesting because, like, they have good enough coverage guys, and they do have the matchups for the Niners specific players, where I think that'll make it difficult. So that's something I want to see too. It's like, because like Madubuike, like he's probably going to go off. Like the interior of the Niners O-line is not good. It's really bad. So like that's the guy where it's like, dude, like that's it. And let's be honest, like, is he a Chris Jones, Aaron Donald type player? He has been this year. Definitely has been this year. So it's like you got to give him the credit for that, even though like it's only been, what is it, 12 games or 13 games, like, right? Like it doesn't matter. Or more than that, like 15 games.
15
Yeah.
games.
It's like
14 games.
He's still been awesome. So I think that's where the Niners have to win offensively. Defensively, it's going to be stopping the run. And they are missing Eric Armstead, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. Now you got Jason Verrett playing corner first game. That's so random, but I kind of like it, to be honest.
Odell versus Jason Verrett is the matchup I did not
man.
expect to see in prime time in the NFL.
Yo, my intrusive thoughts was about to say something. My intrusive thoughts was about to make me say something. I can't. I was about to say who finished the game first. Oh man, I love Odell, y'all. Don't do this. Don't try to murder me in the comments, man. I love Odell, man. I love what he does, what he's been doing for the team, man. He's bringing a sense of leadership to that wide receiver core, But one thing I feel like is definitely going to be a big factor for us on the offensive side of the ball is our home run hitter. I mean, as far as the run game, I mean, I know you brought that up, Matt, but McConnell, we're gonna be out there without Keaton. Justice Hill's gonna have to stay up on his goddamn feet, man. He's going to stay up on his feet. I know it's hard for him. I know it's hard for him. I know it's hard for him to run north and south, but he want to run hard. He gonna have to stay up on his feet because I feel like
guys, I need a job.
See, but there it is. Oh man, so I definitely feel like the passing game is going to be established. That's something I'm really not worried about. I know everybody was like, "Well, you don't got Mark Andrews no more." Do y'all not know who we got in the stable? Charlie Kolar, Isaiah Likely. Things are going to keep on moving. I know people are worried about, well, say Flowers didn't get the ball. Hey, this wide receiver core is better than that 2019 wide receiver core. I'll take this wide receiver core any damn day of the week, honestly. And I'm gonna keep rolling with that wide receiver core because they're getting less drops, they're making things happen, they're moving the chains. Rashad Bateman, he's finally getting his confidence. He's making himself available, even though yes, he ain't no deep ball threat, but we keep throwing it to him deep. Maybe tonight is the night, McConnell, that he gets that deep ball, over Jason Verrett, however he makes it work. I know Lamar and company. Lamar's feeling good. And one thing I will say, when you get your playmaker having fun, sky's the limit. I mean, look at Memphis. When Memphis got John Morant after that 25-game suspension, they've been on a 3-game winning streak. They having fun again. They ain't got it's a level of pressure lifted off those guys when you get your main guy back. So I feel like with Lamar, nobody's healthy in the month of December. But when you playing 85 to 90% and you playing good football and you got a guy, that's going to make some things shake that you can, fight for, it's going to be pretty goddamn interesting. So I'm going to see what Justice Hill does as far as this run game. And I love the fact that it's not always a design run with Lamar. It's a breakdown of a play. And then Lamar makes his move, So I don't think it's going to be a lot of design runs tonight, especially for Lamar.
Ooh, we got a hot take. Away goes off.
Boy,
Monday night seems to be the night for Odafe Away. I will say that's when all of his best games of his career.
He does come alive. He
likes the big lights.
He likes the big lights. So does Clowney. Clowney in a way really liked the big lights. Especially against the Niners. That's his best career game. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks version of Jadeveon Clowney that one time.
Oh my God, dude. That game, he had like 3 sacks and like a forced fumble, just no reason.
I think he had a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
He was going off that game. That was so funny. I was so mad. I was like, what's going on, Seattle? Stop doing this.
So where do you what do you guys actually think like for this game? Like, and I talked to you about it a little bit, McConnell. Like, I think we should expect it to be a close game, right?
Yes.
But I think if there was, this is what I said, like, I think it's going to be a close game. Like, I'm pretty confident that, like, it's going to be pretty tight, like, within one score, like, pretty, back and forth type of deal. But I said if someone's to blow someone out, I think the Niners would blow the Ravens out. I don't think it would go the other way around. I don't know. Maybe people don't like that. That's what I actually think, though.
I'd agree with that because
just the
style. Niners offense is more potent, I think. Like the Ravens offense is good, but like the Niners offense just has those weeks where they just eat alive the defense.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, y'all got explosive plays. What was the week that Christian McCaffrey busted up for 70 yards? I mean, boy still runs like he damn near 22 years old, and his knees are still good. And we all know, I don't know what type of cortisone shots y'all got out of San Fran, but the man still be moving. So I give him all the accolades and praise. I mean, he's been doing it since his days with Cam Newton. So shout out to him. But like you said, like y'all did say, man, if one team was to slip up and just play out of the ordinary, not like them, it would be the Ravens. Because McConnell and I are witness. The Ravens can give up games that should be won by against teams. Like, okay, for example, this year against the Colts. The Colts game should have been an easy win. What the hell did we do? Shit the bed. Now, when we got games like this, we'll put up a hell of a fight. It would literally have to be a bad play call by John Harbaugh, a Lamar DTM in it, the defense possibly bending and then eventually breaking. Like, it has to be one of those chain of events. Like, the defense has to consistently get wore down, or the offense never move the ball, forward in order for it to be a blowout game. But the way this locomotive train has been moving, everybody's been on full cylinders. I mean, granted, they had their moments, but it's gonna be a dog fight. And I think this game, whoever wins, I think we gotta go with it. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we gotta agree with the ESPN analysts for this one moment. Whoever wins out this game, I think gets Super Bowl MVP. Like, I do love the Eagles. I would love to see a Ravens-Eagles game because Baltimore, my Baltimore people, we all know Philly is like a distant cousin to us. For sure, we love our Philly fighters just like Philly love Baltimore fighters. So it's not a love-hate thing, but we show love when it's shown for real. So we know what type of game that would be, and I'm riding with my boys in purple and black. But San Fran for sure, man. I definitely feel like if they can sustain plays, if they can if they can do what Kansas City Chiefs team do pre pop star Taylor Swift came into the fold, score points very quickly and in a hurry, and the defense can get after you. Yeah, they can possibly blow the Ravens out, but if the Ravens, do what they've been doing, running the clock, moving the ball methodically, Odell hitting those open spots in the zone of the defense and things of that nature. Rashad Bateman extending plays. Lamar Jackson pull out the Houdinis. Roquan Smith putting that goddamn defense on his back, and Kyle Hamilton stepping up to the plate and getting up to that front seven and just making plays happen. Because honestly, yes, Brock Purdy may be possibly the best game manager in the NFL right now. But I truly believe in just a matter of beginning company, if Kyle Hamilton and company get up to him and make him shake, make him lose his cool. This is our game to win.
Yeah, and Matt, we gotta. This game happens in 10 minutes. We need to make sure we do this part, and then we will finish analyzing. Every game we do bold predictions.
All right.
Now, the last time we had a guest on, they were bamboozled by the bold prediction. These are bold predictions, Matt. Okay, we're not lightweights. Okay, the bold predictions are 2,000 to 1 odds. All right, these are not situations where you go, oh, I think that Christian McCaffrey scores 2 touchdowns. That's weak sauce. All right, I need you to go out there and say like 225 and a 70-yard touchdown run. Joshua, I'll let you start first. We'll start with the offense. What's your offensive bold prediction that you got for this game?
Hey man, let's slow this damn defense down and wear them out. I got Gus the Bus with 150 yards and 2 tutties.
I love it. There we go. There we go. All right, Matt. Let's get your Niners bold prediction on the offense.
All right. Since everyone, and Joshua, I don't disagree with you about saying that Brock Purdy's a game manager. However, one thing about Brock Purdy that people don't realize is that he is a play extender. Like he is. And he's good because he gets the ball quick, right? That's game manager. But he does extend plays. And everyone keeps being like, oh, he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it, right? Because the games that were the big televised games were Philly and Dallas. Those were the big ones. Well, it was just like layups. It was like, 40 points layups. Let's throw screens to Debo. Let's easily win. I don't think it's going to be the case this game. I'm going to say, bold prediction, Brock throws 4 touchdowns, right? But these are explosive plays. These are, Clowney's in my face. I'm spinning out of the pocket. I'm dotting someone downfield. So I'm going to say he does that, and he has more explosive plays today than Lamar Jackson. That's bold, right? That's bold.
I like it. I like that one, dude. I
like that for sure.
Matt, I think Mike came on and I think he said Geno Smith throws 2 touchdowns. I think that was his bold prediction. Now, he was wrong. The Seahawks got skunked, or they scored 3 points or whatever it was, but he was like, oh, this is a bold prediction. I like that one. I've been saying this for 8 weeks now. The Odell Beckham Jr. touchdown pass is happening this year. Prime time, I'm throwing it out there. I always got to throw it out there because it's happening. Todd Monken has called multiple Odell Beckham Jr. touchdown passes going back to his Cleveland days. I think they will bring it back. Odell will throw a pass tonight. But outside of that, I've got a Lamar Jackson deep post to none other than the firefighter in Philly, Nelson Aguilar, with a deep post, 70-yard touchdown from Lamar Jackson, and he's holding on to it. Unlike Aguilar.
So you guys realize that Laquan Treadwell got activated today, so you're out there rocking with Nelson Aguilar and Laquan Treadwell?
Well, that's wide receiver 4 and 6 right there. Because we got Tylan Wallace still. Don't worry about that, Matt. I know you're afraid of Tylan.
I just saw Laquan Treadwell's name, and I was like, dude, that is crazy. I mean, Aguilar's already caught a couple touchdowns this year, so it's like you've already seen him pop up a little bit. But Laquan Treadwell, I haven't seen Laquan Treadwell's name in a while.
He has not played.
He
played not the preseason.
Yeah, he did. Laquan Treadwell at this point is a chain mover, if anything.
Joshua, let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball. Damn. What's your bold prediction on defense?
Oh man, let's talk about it. I know. Matt brought up, the game changer, also extending plays, man. But I got him getting sacked 6 times, impossible from the recovery to the cribbo. They're gonna be after that ass on Christmas Day. I ain't gonna lie to you, baby.
All right, I'll tell you this: if they get 6 sacks, Ravens win this 100%. Right? That's a lot, right?
All right, Matt. What's your defensive bold prediction?
All right. I already brought him up, Jason Verrett. I see this one, so I'm going to kind of steal this guy right here. He says Marlon gets a game-winning pick over Debo. I'm going Jason Verrett, game-winning pick over Odell. All right? Odell goes up and just gets snatched over him, mossed. All right? So I'm going to kind of copy you, but Jason Verrett mosses Odell Beckham, and they go after it, This is Norman Odell 2.0. All right.
With mine, I think I'm going with number 14, Mr. Kyle Hamilton. I think he's going to get himself a touchdown. I think he's going to get himself a pick 6. I think they're going to try and throw a screen to Deebo Samuel at some point, and we're going to see that.
No, not a shot.
Matt. You don't know about Kyle Hamilton's ability to diagnose the screen.
I was saying not a shot that they're going to try to throw a screen to Debo. That was my not that he's going to pick it, just that you're like they're going to try to throw a screen to Debo.
Because teams have tried Kyle. Like listen, they don't. So a lot of teams don't stay away from the X factor. No, they go after them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I get what you said.
I got pick 6 from Hamilton. And then we're going to add in another pick 6 He's going to try and throw to Ayuk on some sort of out route or comeback route on the sideline. And Mr. BS ball skills, Brandon Stevens, gets his house call. And he's going to take it back like the running back he was at UCLA back in his collegiate days.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
All right. So that if that happens, then that means Lamar wins MVP. So we got one
Two
that's a
defensive
lock.
touchdowns.
One that's a lock that y'all win, and then the other one is just a lock that Lamar wins MVP if there's 2 pick sixes.
Hey,
oh my gosh.
it's gonna be a hell of a game tonight, man.
I think we should throw out score predictions as well. I've gotten one score prediction right in my lifetime. Chiefs Ravens. Hoping I can do it again.
We've been pretty close this year with some of our score predictions.
Yeah, we've been close. We've been close to some score predictions. What are you thinking today, Joshua?
Man, it's Christmas Day. Like I said, both teams going to be explosive hell. Both teams getting after it. I got 37-24 Ravens way.
Okay.
I'm going to go 27-21. Niners stop at the end. So a good game.
I'm going to say 20-16. Baltimore wins.
That's a fight, for real.
Yeah. What count as a score prediction? Benjamin was there. Benjamin was there for the Chiefs score prediction. Man. Oh my gosh. That was a fun night. I think that was the Monday night game. What was it? 34-35?
Was it the one away actually went off, Jason?
I think it was.
Yeah, I call Daffy by his government name right now, Matt. I know he he goes by his native name since he got drafted. But
same thing with like brother of Jim.
Yeah, so they get that type of treatment when they start effing up a goal, completely non-existent during the game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. Make sure to stay tuned. When we do the post-game show later in the week. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. Hopefully everybody enjoys the game. Get your popcorn ready, eat some cookies. I don't know what you guys got going on, but have some good food and hopefully let's watch some really good football. And if it's not, hopefully if it's a Ravens blowout, which I don't think is very likely, but we can always hope.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Brother. All right, see you guys later.
All right, man. Have a great one, y'all.